The Israeli occupation army announced on Wednesday evening that 3 soldiers were killed and an officer seriously wounded in an ambush by Palestinian resistance fighters in Beit Hanun, northern Gaza. We'll talk more about this in details in a second, but before I move on, just to remind you, most of my viewers are not subscribed to my channel. If you happen to be one of them, consider subscribing. In a statement posted on its official website, the Israeli army confirmed, quote-unquote, 3 soldiers from the 46th Armored Battalion of the Iron Division 401 of the 162nd Brigade were killed in a battle in northern Gaza. This was coming directly from IDF admitting the loss. The statement further noted that an officer from the same battalion was seriously wounded in the same battle and was transferred to a hospital for medical treatment. His family has been notified. We have seen this kind of casualties in the past few days, and I have reported on all of these casualties. You can watch some of my other videos to get more information on this. No additional details were provided regarding the circumstances of the soldier's death or the officer's injury. Yediot Ahronot newspaper reported that the tank the soldiers were riding in was lured into an ambush and struck explosive devices in a booby-trapped area in Beit Hanun. The resulting massive explosion killed the 3 soldiers and wounded the officer. Now, Beit Hanun is a place where the resistance forces have launched those missiles, those ballistic missiles to Israel, targeting Jerusalem and also Tel Aviv and south of Israel. This is the same place where we have also seen these casualties coming on a regular basis, and that is Beit Hanun. With the deaths of the 3 soldiers, the toll of the Israeli soldiers killed since the start of the recent re-invasion of northern Gaza on October 6, 2014 has risen to 46 officers and soldiers, including 6 killed in the last 48 hours, according to Israeli Army Radio. They are facing death every single day, and this is why perhaps the negotiation is making some progress with the resistance forces, Hamas. I want to share with you this photo. Somebody pointed out the irony and the situation of the people of United States. They pay billions and billions and billions. Trust me, this is not billions anymore. This is trillions. We're talking about money in trillions of dollars pouring into Israel every single day, every single week, every single month. Trillions of dollars, guys, in total, every day, billions and millions. But it is continuing to pour in Israel. And when United States, they face any natural disaster, any calamity, their people become homeless. The residents, they do not know where to go to. The government says, we have limited way of helping you. And this is what was pointed out by this guy. Sorry, America, if government could not afford water for fire hydrants and firefighting planes, they have to give billions of tax dollars to Israel to kill innocent children in Gaza. When we talk about Gaza, when we talk about the situation in what is happening in Beit Hanun and northern Gaza and in Israel, we see all the time United States is concerned about the well-being of the people of Israel. But where is the help for the people of California? Now, Mossad was exposed. Recently, they have found a video where Mossad is admitting that they are the one who is writing the script for all the Hollywood movies. They are the one who has strings on the world stage to really make people do things that they want them to do. It is all Zionists that are behind all of the things that we see today. Let's take a listen.
The #1 intelligence agency in the world, what the CIA is to us, this is their version.
We have an incredible array of possibilities of creating foreign companies that have no way being traced back to Israel, shell companies over shell companies who affect the supply chain to our favor. We create a pretend world. We are a global production company.
Unbelievable.
We write the screenplay. We're the directors. We're the producers. We're the main actors. The world is our stage.
And he's not even exaggerating. They are a global production company and the world is their stage. And they brag about it. They are the tip of the pyramid, the prime mover. They move everything behind the scenes, and everything is to be slanted in their favor. The global...
Absolutely. Even if you think about the war in Iraq, the war in Afghanistan, what is happening right now in Syria, and what happened with Syria in the past, all of these things you see, the uprising, the unrest, the fighting, the corruption, this is what they're doing, according to this person. This is how he exposed it. To me, I'm not going to be saying that, well, Mossad is behind every single thing that we see in the world. No, I'm not going to be saying that. But to a greater extent, yes, they're involved. This is what he said. He's just a reporter who is reporting on Mossad's activity, and I agree with him quite a bit. Nevertheless, it is not Mossad. We should not believe, or we should not have this kind of understanding where we see no hope because Mossad and the Jew lobby, they're too powerful. I don't agree with that either. Now, American citizens, they have joined the war or the genocide in Gaza, and quite a bit. We have seen hundreds of them going to Israel to fight, to take up arms, not the American Christians, but Jew. And according to this person, he said there are at least 20,000 American Jews who went to Israel. Take a listen.
Over 20,000 American-born citizens have gone to fight in the IDF. That means 20,000 U.S. citizens have gone to Israel to fulfill their fantasy of killing Arabs behind the shadowy veil to call them Islamic jihadists. Can you imagine 20,000 Americans going to join the Russian military or China's military and the U.S. just being like, no, that's all good? And then politicians trying to pass bills that give the IDF the same benefits as the U.S. military in America, calling themselves soldiers but being actual terrorists, such as putting on people's clothes of homes that you just blew up, filming yourself riding a child's bike in front of a house that you just...
What is also pathetic is when they broadcasted, now this one was not broadcasted, the one he's mentioning about the U.S. citizens going to Israel, but some newspaper, for example, Western media, MSM, the mainstream media, they have broadcasted and they bragged about it when a lot of Western citizens, they were going to Ukraine to fight against Russia, and they called them brave and this and that. But on the same token, when Muslims were traveling to different countries to fight, they called them terrorists. Same thing. I mean, same situation, but different narrative. And this is what is happening right now. If you are a pro-Westerner, you are not a terrorist, you are going to be praised, especially in the Western media. Maybe you can get a gong, a medal from Joe Biden. Who knows? He gave some few days ago to some of the people. You might even get one from him. But same action, if you do, and the West do not agree with you, you will be called terrorists, and they will impose sanctions on you, and they will ban you from entering into their country. This is the world we live in today. Now, the audacity of Mossad doesn't stop in just playing or pulling the strings behind the scene, but they also go a little extra too far and try to even kill American citizen. Yes, American citizen. Take a listen at this guy, what he is saying.
They planted bombs in U.S. military targets, morale, wellness and readiness facilities in Egypt in the 1950s. They were trying to blow up United States servicemen and their families in Egypt.
Wow.
Blame it on the Arabs. Israeli citizens committed these terrorist acts.
Israeli citizen committed this terrorist act, and they do. In the West Bank, all the settlements, we do not have to make mention of all of them. You already know what I'm talking about. But this is what the terrorists, the Zionist terrorists, they do. Obviously, Donald Trump, he doesn't agree with that. He believes that the Zionists, they are innocent civilians, they're saints, they're angels from sent from the heaven, God's chosen people. So he said, he said, all hell will break out in the Middle East if these angels, who are under the resistance forces captivity, if they're not being released before January 20th, all hell will break out. But here we have another person who is actually mocking Donald Trump. I believe he has a YouTube channel, and he's quite a bit an expert on this matter. Take a listen.
Trump repeated his warning that all hell will break loose in the Middle East if hostages kidnapped from Israel are held by Hamas in the Gaza Strip and not released before his inauguration on January 20th.
If those hostages aren't back, I don't want to hurt your negotiation. If they're not back by the time I get into office, all hell will break out in the Middle East.
Hey, I don't have to say anymore. I'm the president. Like all of you. Hey, I'll tell you what I want to tell you. All hell is going to break loose. All hell is broken loose, Trump. All hell is broken loose by the genocide being committed by Israel that we, the people of slave landia, are funding. Trump repeated his warning that all hell will break loose in the Middle East.
Absolutely. I mean, what else you want the people of Gaza to go through? They are going through hell. I mean, even though we don't want to use the word hell in the sense that this is what you get in the hereafter, that's not what we want to use it for. But hell on earth, yeah, definitely. This is what the people of Palestine, especially in Gaza, they are going through every single day. So when Donald Trump says all hell will break out, I don't know what else he wants for the Gazan people to go through. I don't know that. This is just beyond pathetic. And this guy, obviously, Donald Trump, he talks with empty words. And a lot of you have said that he's not going to do anything about Middle East. He's not going to attack. He's not going to bomb. He's not going to do or use nuclear weapon. I have actually done a poll on my community tab asking you guys, what do you think about Donald Trump's threat? You guys have voted. These are all empty words. And I agree with that. But, good for him that he's trying to stop this war. If he's trying to stop this war, and he should, before January 20th, we should see some kind of negotiation and a ceasefire, permanent ceasefire in Gaza, and stop this genocide for good and hold this Netanyahu accountable.